So Ben, tell us what else is out there that we need to be talking about.
Well,
you sent us some pictures, a website to look at.
I did. So I don't want to pull something up. We could take a look at.
Yeah, let's bring that up.
So there's one picture. All right, that's the jellyfish. So we all know, again, we've discussed it. Technology has gotten a lot better.
Okay.
This can't be seen apparently with the naked eye, but it can be seen with an infrared technology. So the jellyfish was a pretty neat, it flew over bases, and they call it the jellyfish because what else are we going to call it? We equate it to what we know. It
does look
right?
like it, yeah.
Yeah, we equate it to what we know. So, but it was pretty cool. I thought that was a pretty interesting moment. I'm totally drawing the blank on what base this was, but it flew over a base, and just like the Tic Tac, we have the technology now to find these things.
And where was that spotted?
Yeah, that's what I can't remember. It was a military base, but I can't
Military
remember where.
base.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
But in Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But pretty amazing that, again, nothing would fly by you if you're looking.
What's Conrad laughing
This is only
at?
seen with infrared.
Hilton's question, was this spotted on Earth?
I wanted to know because we have
Right.
Do you mean like which country? Which it was spotted on a military base? Was a military base on Earth?
The AI hallucinating.
No.
Hilton is correct in the sense that I've also pulled up a picture of
Bring up the document. Bring up the document.
Picture of a UFO crash. Let's call it a Roswell on Mars. That's Mars. So we've seen it. All makes sense now, buddy. We've seen asteroid.
I understand now. Yeah.
Random things hit. Now, when you zoom in, that's pretty circular. Circles aren't a natural shape.
And it looks like it's still stuck in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
like it crashed and it.
Like it's buried into the
That's why-
ground.
It
I call
buried,
it-
half of it.
It's the Mars Roswell. I mean, that's they crashed. That's my theory there. So yes, this one's not Earth. This is Mars. That's
Hey,
what I
Conrad,
think.
is this a military base?
Why do you think that picture by itself inspired Elon Musk to want to go to Mars?
I was just going to say that's Elon Musk's military base, okay?
The next one you're about to show is the rubber ducky, which
It does look like a rubber ducky.
we equate it to what we know, right? The words that we know. So yeah, that one again, not a naked eye, but an infrared. It's pretty cool.
And
Unexplainable.
just on point on that image from Mars, that would be one of the reasons that I would feel okay. I understand the investment, so they spot something that can change the way we manipulate matter. So now I see an economic reason for us to go there and make all the efforts. If we get this technology, we can reverse it, and then we will improve the quality of life of every single inhabitant in the planet. Then I think, okay, now it makes sense. But it's got to be a story. It's got to be something that that justify why I'm going to spend $4 trillion. And so I think we are moved. Of course, I'm judging how they would react based on my knowledge, right? Which is energy, surviving. But maybe they have other feelings that we don't even understand. They have other thoughts and feelings and ways to communicate that we don't even understand, and that is more important. Something that has zero value for us, zero value, but for them it's the most important thing. Okay, then it makes sense, like to kill 8 billion people and use this technology, because you see, they don't use it. They don't know how precious this is. It's precious for them, not for us on Earth. So there's so many variables that I can see, but the commercial one, for religious reasons, because people invest billions. Look at the castles.
Yeah.
Always trying to touch God. Well, I don't know. There's always an inspiration. So I would say if there is this, economic reason, a religious reason, or any other things that we don't know yet, I think it's justifiable. So
Yeah.
I don't doubt. I don't doubt. As long as they found out it's easier to extract, it's good for them. I don't know. I totally believe they could be around. Maybe they have a deal with the leaders of our planet. Hey, you don't need this. That's not gonna affect anybody. We're just gonna hear for I don't know, because we control time based on the way we control time, right? So what is the time for them?
It's completely different.
Do they bend time? How does the time work for them?
But how do they find the leaders? You know what I mean? Because for them, it could be something completely different.
Yeah.
It's like who's got more resources, who's got more influence, and who's got
Who's got the power in that country? It's always like that. Tribes. We are all tribes at the end. Every single, at least from our human perspective, our limited intelligence, right? Water.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Ben, what is being talking about? What is being talked about these?
What is being talked about?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Have you seen any conversation around of that?
Speculations.
I think. Oh, about
that. Yeah.
About that
in
specific in Mars.
So I don't know, but it makes sense, right? That's why we have a race to Mars next.
Yeah.
To recover something, but I don't know that that's so much the topic. I think it's more of the topic of acknowledgement. There are beings, there are unidentifiable things that are visiting our planet, be it some of them I think are drone, not necessarily like a drone like we're thinking US or an earthly based drone, but they're a non-manned or there's no alien inside. It's a mechanical machine that's coming and taking observation and taking readings and things like that. But you made me think of something that I wrote down too, that in 1971, September 30th, Russia and the US have an agreement in place that reduces the risk of outbreak between the US and the USSR at the time about UAPs. So UFOs, UAP, unidentified aerial phenomenon is UAP, of course. But Article 3 of that treaty that they created, September 30th, 1971, is basically, it states that if a UAP interfering with communications and anything near nuclear facilities has been mandatory, that the USSR and the USA notify each other, it was not us. We were not flying near your nuclear facilities, sending some type of drone or observation thing. It wasn't us. So basically, I think that's proof that they're saying, hey,
Something else.
that's something else.
Flying out there.
Yeah, it's not us.
It could be. Look, I already established myself. I believe that, but it could be just a speculation. As a leader, I have to consider that too. I have to consider that there are, like, yo no creo en brujas, pero que las hay, right? So I don't believe in witches, but I know they exist. So that kind of thing. Like, they have to deal with. This is only one thing. Like all these zombie or whatever apocalypse based on virus, on, other kinds of, they have to anticipate all this kind of, probably there are books about that. There are probably. So one of them for sure is this one, like if we have that, and now it's a protocol. Every time you fly, you have to say, we have to even mention that. Not now. I don't know how amicable they are now. But I think any suspicion, because they only need one plug into every single system we have, and we are completely lost.
I wonder what the connection is with nuclear power, because there's also an interesting show, I believe it's called Encounters, on Netflix, and it was talking about firsthand video, and there are videos of it where after the nuclear power plant went down in Fukushima and started spilling all of that radioactive material, there were videos of UFOs flying over the site, and you could clearly see beams of light coming down. And they were saying that there was some type of containment to the nuclear radiation and nuclear spillage in that particular area. There's also reports of that happening in Chernobyl, Chernobyl. And other places that. So I wonder if there's some type of correlation or connection with nuclear power and these aliens, that they're like, listen, I don't think you understand what you're
Some
what you're
sort of
getting.
nurturing going around
Yes.
what us humans are fucking up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
like a higher beam just watching over.
Yes.
Exactly.
Which also supports possibly the theory of, hey, we live on this planet too. We're so many ex-legions under the sea. Do not F it up here with these bombs that are going to destroy this planet. So that's one theory, but there's also a U.S., maybe it was Tennessee, but there was a nuclear facility that they had no control of for X amount of maybe seconds, not a minute full, but things were armed. Things were looking like they were going to take off.
Yes.
And then they got it back. So, and then again, UFO sighting on top of it. So
Right.
I think there is an interest in weaponry, be it people, earthlings from the ocean or whatnot. But, when it's a weapon that can destroy and change the face of the earth, it might be worth looking at, if you were another being that was keeping an eye on things. It's my theory.
One of my favorite TV shows ever is called Love, Death plus Robots. And
Yeah.
Robots, they have a new season now, and there's an episode that's exactly about this. Like the aliens come, and then it's always cartoonish, right? So they are defending themselves, and then hey, we are not here to, you see, we want to be things to be amicable, right? And then human beings keep fighting, and then human beings keep stealing the technology from them, and then they say, hey, don't do that. Then they come with a bigger weapon, and then they try to manipulate, then they come with a bigger weapon, then the human beings destroy the planet because they know how to. So they were there to contain that, which means that maybe something is, they don't want to stay just like us, like when you have in your grass, or you have the weeds, you remove the weeds. That's the same control that they might be doing. Like if you let it grow, it maybe destroy the whole thing around, not only your insignificant planet. You're going to destroy millions of planets if you keep doing that. So they go there and just contain that.
Yeah.
That could be also that could be one possibility.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I agree. So that's one of the points that I wrote down, pretty similar. And to segue to a thought, now thinking we can only identify with through a humanistic lens, let's say, because that's all we know. We don't know any better. We don't know any different. But that said, Star Trek, right? What was Star Trek? They were an intergalactic police, in a sense. What if that's what that is, in a sense? They're like, look, they're at the point where they can mess themselves up. But what happens in thousands of years when they can mess up us and our planet and our solar system or our within this galaxy? We need to stop this now. So is it plausible that a intergalactic police is out there watching things, and if they deem we're too dangerous, reset to your point again.
Cave, yeah.
Knock them out. They're getting too close, and that's dangerous for us.
There's a movie, one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever, Arrival, that is basically the same concept, right? In which they come from the future. And actually, what I love the book is one of the first sci-fi movies that actually they were here to help, but they were here to help us.
An alternative motive.
Yes, but if they would be destroyed, you would be destroyed too. So it's they are like kind of empowering us with technology. Hey, in 40,000, 50,000 years, we will need you, because I know they will try to devastate us and you together. So you say, hey, they just went to Africa and kind of weaponized not only weapons, right? Because they brought technology and well-being for everybody, but for the next 40, you'll be invaded. Make no mistake, you'll be invaded in 50,000 years because they can predict that. How the pieces are moving in, because all these galactic moves. We're talking about the time is different. What can be 1 year, 1 minute for us could be thousands of years for them. I don't know.
Or thousands of years for us could be 1 year for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you see actually, you see that when you see a light, actually everything you see is the past. Every single star, because they have to travel the speed of light until it gets to us. Everything is in the past.
Isn't that kind of crazy to think?
Like millions, sometimes thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
So there's some of the stars. So something has already happened. We just don't know. Just don't know. Am I tripping again?
That is a trippy thought right there.
Yeah. Okay.
On
And
that
then he's the non-believer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean.
No,
But
the thing
George is a
is
believer.
it's a different perspective. That's what I'm
Yes.
saying. What George's bringing, to this discussion here right now is all of these inputs that are vague. Because what Ben said, we don't know what we don't know because we just don't know.
But
Right?
you said something very important. If you're gonna finish here, you said something like it's just acknowledgement. To avoid this. This. I don't know. We have to keep it secret. They are out there. Just say that's gonna change 8 billion people perception of that.
Right.
I just remember the meme that said, Technologia. Have you seen that meme?
Oh man, I missed the 2010s
man.
with all the memes. My favorite memes. I love them. I still read them.
Technologia.
Lame punk coon.
That meme was Ayrton Senna talking about the Honda car. And then he say, hey, this is a small engine, 2.0 liter engine that's very powerful, and then that's technology. And then all the Japanese saying, Technologia. You know what I mean? That's a meme. And it's such a cool meme because it brings down to that is, technology.
Ben, unfortunately, we have to wrap up. Are there any final closing thoughts that you would like to share with us and the viewers out there?
Let me propose a question to you. Let's say aliens are here. They've been here for years.
Ever.
The government knows about it. We have agreements in place. Go ahead. Take a X amount of samples. You can take the specimen of a man. You can put it in a woman for X amount of months to procreate your planet. Because those are some of the stories that are out there, right? They're abducted. Things happen. The Greys is what is probably the most popular for this. So they abduct you. They extract your stuff, put it in a woman, bake it for a couple months, take it out. Let's say the government acknowledges this happening, and they open up a program. Would you volunteer for that program where you would voluntarily be abducted and have these experiences?
I would need to know a little bit more about that, but I would be certainly a good volunteer. But I would need to know a little bit more about it. Like how many people came back? Do they come back? Oh, okay.
Part of the deal is you come back.
All right. So I want to just know the premises. Are they lobotomized? Are they the smartest people in the world? I want to know. I want to know what's there for me. Will I when I come back? Will I be able to become an icon to help people? Oh, I would do. I would sacrifice.
The trade-off is important. Yeah.
I know. How would I use my intelligence and my vessel here to improve human race?
What if it had nothing to do with your improvement? It was all about them. And then maybe to incentivize, the government gives you money. Hey, if you're willing to sign up for this alien abduction program. Every time you're abducted, we'll give you $1,000, whatever, whatever the number is. Does that change your opinion on whether you want to be abducted or not?
I'd be okay with it. I think it would be a super tough question if you were to say, like, they're going to abduct you and take you to the home planet, and we don't know if you'll be able to come back or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're talking about otherworldly experiences of ancient races that have thousands, if not millions or billions years of technology that no one else has seen, and the opportunity to see something like that would be so cool. But then you don't know if you'll ever come back.
Right.
I think that would be a super tough question to answer. But if I'm coming back and it's like, shit, $1,000 richer, sign me up, man.
Yeah.
But
probe wherever. I don't give a shit.
There is another thing, which is the time lapse, right? So we hear about abduction and then people coming back,
Missing time.
But missing very short period of time, like just minutes, maybe hours.
Hours, yeah.
Right? But how long did that take on these other sphere? Right? So yeah, you go off of a 2 years adventure, right? But then when you come back, there's only 2 hours being passed. And then
they're around too, so
yeah, and then but that's what I'm saying. It's like you did not really lose much time on Earth and what the environment that you live in and your life perspective. You come back with a different life perspective, but
most of the I'll put in air quotes, the abductees, they don't remember until they're under hypnosis or something to that degree. So you might have this experience, but you're not going to remember it.
But you're richer?
Yeah.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. If you don't remember and you don't even know what happened, you might have just I fell asleep.
Is it for the money or for the adrenaline?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I mean, if you don't remember, it might not be. I would say no. I mean, I have to remember something.
What if you don't remember, but it's like a planet like Wonder Woman, where they're all supermodels, but you don't remember?
Right, yeah, exactly. It's not worth it.
But those 2 hours are pretty cool.
Well, but no, because you don't remember. So you got. I mean, if you go and you spend 1 year, and then you remember everything, but then you only lost 2 hours.
I'm sneaking my cell phone.
On Earth.
I'm taking a bunch of pictures.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You gotta bring something back. What George's saying is like, hey, can I come back as a higher being, and do something like that? And then I would say yes. But if not, no, because if I don't remember, no, because I'm just gonna be a lunatic without knowing that I am. You know what I mean? But if I'm a lunatic, but I know, I'm okay.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna pose on your point. So would I trade the risk of not spending time with the love of my life, Tamiris, for $1,000? How much would you do that for? All your kids, their wife, and
exactly
family,
and that's what I'm saying is like I don't think there's any amount of money,
unless you remember.
Well, I mean,
unless it is an experience, because we talk about cigars over here. Why we smoke cigars? Because it's not it's an experience.
The whole thing is when you make it real. It's just like playing for money and not playing for money, playing just for fun, like.
And that's my point. And that was my point of saying it. It's like there would have to be some incentive of like, am I coming back? If not, it's like, whatever. No.
Well, we know, to your point, 50,000 years from now we'll be more advanced, and probably two things will still be around: religion. 50,000 years from now will still be strong, and Puff Drink Talk podcast.
Yes.
Wow.
On that note,
I don't think you can get a better closing statement than that.
We've been
right
trying
there.
to close, but we can't beat that. I was settled for that.
They call me the closer. I'm the closer, baby.
yeah, thank you for watching.
Have a great night. Don't forget to like,
Comment.
Subscribe.
bye-bye.
And hit the notification bell.
Yeah, thank you.